So first of all, it's great to be back here. I used to stand on the Chemaxon side, but I've joined KNIME last year. And I'll just give you a brief presentation. So I guess a lot of you know KNIME. KNIME is an open source analytics platform. We had a bunch of slides about the company and so on, but I thought that would be relatively boring. So as you can see, the KNIME is this open source analytics platform that allows you to build workflows in a visual way with lots and lots of extensions and nodes that allow you to do everything from use cases in customer intelligence to, predictive maintenance, and obviously one of our strong focuses was always life sciences. The analytics platform sits on a KNIME ecosystem where this is the open source analytics platform we maintain. We maintain ourselves a bunch of extensions, and we have a lot of community extensions and partner extensions from various sources. Well, I'll show where Chemaxon plays in here. And as a commercial tool, we obviously have to support ourselves. Somehow we offer the KNIME server, which I'll briefly touch upon in just a moment. So yeah, the KNIME server is basically what you use for collaboration, automation, and deploying your workflows to the end users. As you know, this collaboration has been ongoing forever, and I've actually made the same presentation at KNIME, the other way around, so it's kind of odd when I was still at Chemaxon. But Chemaxon has been very kind and has contributed a bunch of nodes to the open source community, and also, of course, with Infocom in tow, provide a bunch of functionality, basically giving you access to all the Chemaxon calculations, the cartridge. I mean, the whole list is here. I will never list that again. And what I think I would highlight is that Marvin.js is part of the KNIME server web portal, so it's a possibility to integrate it into the web applications that you build on KNIME workflows. What I thought I'd do is I'll just highlight a couple of things. We had our summit 2 weeks ago, so there were a lot of cool things that happened there. We have a new forum. I mean, for us this is interesting because we had a really bad one for a long time. But what I thought would be more relevant for life science community is something called the Monster Model Factory. So if you're a data scientist, you have to take care of a certain number of models that you're trying to maintain. And our experience tells us that data scientists have difficulty of taking care of large number of data models. So we actually did this for the summit last year in Berlin. We've built a model factory which was designed to handle dozens of workflows, automating the building, validation, and deployment of those workflows. Now, Greg Landrum, who's a much better presenter than myself, did a talk at our summit where we demonstrated a monster model factory, where what we did was we identified 1,500 data sets from Kemble, and we've created workflows for automating the extraction of those data sets, generating the features, building the models and validating them and deploying them once they pass the validation. And we used the model factory we built last year, which is basically just a set of KNIME workflows that we make freely available for anybody who wants to reuse them. And then we applied this to KNIME server, so we were able to deploy these as a web portal application, as a RESTful web service, and also for a way to view the predictions. So the idea was that basically we've created more than 1,500 models that are automatically managed by this monster workflow. We really had to use some serious computational power to train those models. And then this is an example of the report generated on a specific set of structures, predicting their activity or inactivity against an essay. There's a description of the model that we actually used. And furthermore, we've built a visualization around that within the KNIME web portal allows you to see how certain structures fare against a large set, obviously a subset of the 1,500 models, but those can be configured within the web portal on what you see. And there's a lot more on the model factory, and I strongly encourage you to watch the video from Greg. It's a lot better than what I do. And one other interesting thing which I thought would be relevant for this group here is that if you are using KNIME within your organization, then you will run into the situation where it's not so much about running workflows and collaborations, but that you have many different users using KNIME, and you want to somehow help them do things like, how do I configure Python? How do I add a specific database driver for a database connection that I need to do? These you have to configure individual in the KNIME Analytics platforms. And it's fine when you've got 3 users, but it becomes a bit problematic when you have more. So we've added a new thing to the server, which allows you to essentially define preferences, database drivers, and so on centrally. And then everybody on their KNIME Analytics platforms can link to those preferences centrally, so that you have an easier time supporting a larger number, for example, of medicinal chemists or computational chemists or various researchers in your organization. I think that is actually the last slide, which is go into more detail about what you can do here. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, then I'll be here in the break, and I guess the slides will be available, and then you will be able to check the Monster Model Factory. Thanks very much.